In C, I can declare and initialize strings either by placing a pair of square brackets after an identifier or by preceding the identifier, that's the name, with an asterisk or star like this. Now at first sight, these two declarations appear to be more or less equivalent. Each is initialized with a string, and I can display that string using printf, as I've done here, and when I run it, you'll see that the results appear to be more or less the same. They display the string that I've assigned. Now, in fact, the apparent similarity here is deceptive, and it's all down to pointers. In this example, the asterisk or star indicates that the variable str2 is a pointer to some memory location. In this case, it happens to be the memory location where the array of characters forming the string goodbye is stored. Each piece of data in your computer's memory is stored at some memory location or address, and you can display that address using the address of operator ampersand placed before a variable name. Now I'll just change this code. I'm going to display this as a number, so instead of a string I'll put D here to make sure that I display an integer number, and I'm going to use the address of operator before these two identifiers here. That's the ampersand. Save and run my code. Build and run. And that's the result. So here you can see the addresses have been shown as numbers. These addresses are locations in the computer's memory where str1 and str2 live. Now this is my example project 02_strings and pointers. Here I'm going to print out the address of each identifier, followed by its value, shown in this case as a hexadecimal number using the format specifier %x, but if you prefer you can use %d and that will display it as a decimal integer, and then I display it later as a string. Let me run this so you can see the results. Okay, so this is what's displayed, though when you run the code, the actual numbers will no doubt be different from what you see here. Now, first of all, this shows me that the address of str1 is this number, and its value expressed in hexadecimal is the same number. So its value expressed as a string is the string with which it was initialized. Hello, no surprises there. The address of str2 is this number, but its value is a different number. And its value when expressed as a string is the string that was used to initialize it. In this case, that's goodbye. The important thing to observe here is that the value of the array name str1 when expressed as a number is the same as the address of that name. It's the identical number, it's the identical address, the same location in memory. So from this we can say that the value of an array name is the address of the start of that array. But unlike an array name, the value of the pointer variable str2 is not its own address. It's a different address. It's the address at which this string goodbye begins. So in other words, the array name str1 and the string hello are one and the same thing, and they indicate the same address. That's not true of the pointer variable str2. The string goodbye occupies one address, but the pointer variable str2 occupies a different address. The data of str2 is a number, and that number is the address of the string goodbye. So you can think of the pointer variable as pointing to the address of the string goodbye. str2 may point to the string goodbye at the outset, but it could also point to some other address as long as that address contains an array of characters, or it defines the start of an array of characters, such as, for example, the address of str1. Well, let's try this. Let's see if I can make str2 point to str1. str2 equals address of, the address of operator, str1. str1 is, of course, the array goodbye. Let's try running this again. Build and run. And when I display str2, now look what's happened. So I've set str2, which is a pointer, to point to the address of the array str1, and sure enough, when I display str2 as a string, it shows the characters of the array str1. Hello. That is, instead of pointing to goodbye, as it did initially, it now points to the array at the address of str1. But recall that I said before that the value of an array name is the address of the start of the array, and that should mean, in theory, let me just close this, that the address of the start of the character array that holds the string hello is str1. So that being so, I shouldn't even need the address of operator here, because str1 itself is the address of the array. Well, let's try that. Let me just try deleting the address of operator, save, and run the code again. Look, the results are the same. str2 now points to the address str1, because str1, being an array name, actually is the address of that array. So let's summarize this. A char array name, such as str1, is the actual memory location where an array of chars, such as those in hello, is stored. Whereas a char pointer variable, such as str2, is a number that represents the memory location, the address, where an array of chars is stored.